Hope and change in Hartford. That Obama slogan is realistic. I'm Mark Stewart, sometimes known as Stewart for Hartford. I am Assembly candidate for District 1. The reason that hope is very realistic, it is because it's at the local level. Hard to do much in D.C. Obama couldn't get that much done, and Trump's undone a lot of that. But locally, the reason for the uplift and the likeliness of good change is the rise of independence. Okay? We are less and less tethered to two big parties. Even those candidates who run with big parties are acting independently far more often. My Epic Party colleagues are in that category. Here's why that kind of change is likely with the election of an independent. Because to get elected, we have nothing but you. We don't have party. We don't have big funding. We don't have media. And yet, if people propel us to the legislature, yes, that's the Capitol in the background, it shows that you're empowering us and that you're behind it. You are the power behind the throne. How good is that? Because all those things that were talked about that don't get done, in the hands of independents, a lot of these proposals do get done. Even if the majority is still mostly Democrat and Republican next year, they need to be looking over their shoulders. They need to be acting warily and properly to enact what people want. We are your spearheads for this. And we certainly need change here in Hartford, okay? Hartford's been declining for over 30 years. And in part, it's because government has gotten in the way. I'm a candidate for three big things: jobs, civil rights, education. Let me talk briefly about all. Hartford has been plagued by a lack of job growth. Good men getting, because of government, imprisoned and staying there, and even when getting out, unable to land good jobs because companies are lawyered up, because there's no wiping out of even little offenses that are called felonies. That's got to change, and it could be done in an instant. Criminality, as legislated, is not up to judges. It's not even up to police captains. It's up to legislatures to define what really is criminal. Violent crimes against other people should be strongly enforced. Victimless crimes shouldn't even be on the books. That is a big civil rights offense, and I'll go further. Victimless crimes put cops in the faces of otherwise innocent people in the first place. We don't need that. Let's talk more about jobs and even wealth. Wealth comes from the ability to save. That takes a long-term job. It's not putting 3 part-time jobs together, working your tush off for 60 hours a week. It's 40 or maybe 50 hours, including overtime, in a career that you can grow with, so that you can bank money every month, so that you can buy a home. Home ownership in Hartford is now down to 22%. When my mom was growing up here, that's in the 40s and 50s, it was over 75%. Finally, education. Elementary education is relatively miserable, and that can be instantaneously changed. For almost 50 years, a group of people have been, now their descendants, have been fighting to have choice in education. Well, the legislature has resisted it. It is so easily accomplished. Go all the way back to Horton versus, at the time, Governor Meskel. And that 10-year-old at the time was just looking for better funded public education. Barnaby Horton made it through. He's actually still in Hartford. He's a financial planner and quite successful. But a lot of kids don't. A lot of kids could use the equivalent of suburban schooling. And we don't get that here. You have to leave, and that's very uncomfortable to send your kid to a foreign town, back on the bus for the long trip. We could have better education here instantaneously. And with this COVID set of closures, this is a perfect opportunity. And where are my legislators? Nowhere to be found. You found me. Thank you for helping make me one of hopefully many. And please look to the Epic Party for other would-be legislators who are in your corner. I'm Mark Stewart. StewartForHartford.com is the website. Thank you for listening, and please pass this on to other concerned parents, educators themselves, and, yes, your neighbors.